Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Jennifer Scrapping Cane. Today I'm sharing two 8.5 by 11 layouts with you. First, I'm going to show you some layouts that I created in the past. These are from my older son's album, and I had already started doing his school photos, and then I stopped right around second grade. So I have two here that I'm showing you as examples, and they kind of sort of look exactly alike, but they are different. So that's my plan for these photos here. I have two more school photos of him. This one here is when he was in the 3-year-old class at daycare. And I'm going to do them similar to the other two layouts. So I'm not going to stray away from those type of layouts. I'm going to basically just scrap lift myself for each grade. This photo here is second grade. And then I have third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and seventh grade. He was homeschooled for eighth grade. And then I have ninth grade, and 10, 11, and 12 are already done. So I kind of hopped around there. But so I wanted to go ahead and show you what I have picked out for these two particular layouts. And I'm going to do one and then I will do the other one. And they're going to be fairly quick. So, since they're going to be fairly quick, most of the month, most of my videos might include two layouts. One of these portrait layouts like this with a school photo, and then another layout with it. So I'm hoping to complete them all during the month of August and get all of his school photos in his album. And so here I'm just showing you again the layout and how I added the grade down at the bottom. So I brought in some thickers from my stash that I'm going to use to spell out threes class. I needed a brand new one because lots of E's and lots of S's, but it's okay because this particular font, I don't know that I would use it that often. So I went ahead and pulled out a brand new one. I happened to get it on clearance at Hobby Lobby. That's why it has the orange sticker on it. So I'm okay with using up most of it for one layout. I think it was like $1 or something for the whole pack, which is insane for thickers. But I'm not going to question it. And that's what I'm going to do for most of the layouts. I will just pull out thickers that match, and um, I will get started on the layout. So this one here, like I said, is from the 3-year-old class in daycare. I already did the 4-year-old preschool photo a while back, and then he has one more for basically a 4-year-old preschool because he went to two different preschools during that time. And then he has a 2-year-old photo that will be scrapbooked during the month, but that one actually has two different photos because of the way they did the portraits at daycare. So that one's going to be a little bit different than these ones. I'm not going to do that one in this particular style, but it'll kind of sort of be the same. But I am going to change it up since there's two photos on that one instead of one. And it's fine since, he's a little bit younger. But this one here, I just think is so cute. He was my best little photographer, or not photographer. I was the photographer most of the time. My little model. He loved to smile for the camera, and everybody's like, "How do you get him to take the perfect pictures at school when you're not there?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I just tell him, make sure you make it a good picture for me because I want a good picture. I'm going to make you do retakes if you don't take a good picture." And even when he was older, like you'll see as I go through the photos, he has the best smile. And he's like, I don't know, I just took a good picture, I guess. And it's funny because his brother started out with a really good picture when he went to public school. He went to public school at sixth grade, so he took one photo for sixth grade. It was amazing. I was so in love with it. And then seventh grade, he did the froggy smile. He didn't do his real cheese smile that we all know and love. So I was really disappointed with that one. But I'm hoping eighth grade he's going to give me a good smile for it. I'm not going to do his photos just yet since he is still in school, so it would be a current school photo, and I'm not okay with putting those ones online just yet. So I'm going to do my older son since he has quite a few. I am going to do a couple of school photos of my younger son throughout the month. But again, he was homeschooled until sixth grade. But I do have a few photos of him from school in sixth and seventh grade. And then I also have photos of him homeschooling. So here I'm adding the letters for threes, and this is the new Simple Stories school collection that just came out this year. I think it's called Book Fair, and I just love the colors of this collection, and they happen to match perfectly with his shirt. This was not the best shirt on the blue background, but I made it work. I really like the way the layout turned out. So here I'm going to show you a couple of close-ups, and then the single layout by itself, and then we'll get started on the second grade photo. And the second grade photo, he's missing his front tooth, and I was really sure he was going to bring home a photo and it was going to be the froggy smile. No teeth showing because he was missing his teeth. And he's like, "No, look, I smiled. I showed that I didn't have no teeth. Aren't you happy, Mom?" And I was like, I love it. This is probably one of my favorite photos of him. And like I said, though, all of his photos are really great photos. So this one here, I'm using an older Simple Stories collection. I think this one is called School Rules. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Um, yeah, I believe that's what it's called, is School Rules. I just moved them around counting to see how many I had to actually scrapbook this month. And I actually have quite a few, more than I thought, actually, but it's okay. I don't know how many times I can say actually, but oh no, actually, this one is called Smarty Pants, is what this one is called. And basically, I'm just going to use a few of the stickers and a couple of the papers. The green one is not from Smarty Pants, though. The green one is from Echo Park Collection Back to School, I think is what that one was called. And the green just matched his shirt. The inside collar of his shirt is green. So that's why I picked green as the background. I didn't think the blue background would be that hard to match with papers from these collections, but it really was throwing it off because he almost always picked a blue background because he loved the color blue. So we usually got the blue background. Some of his photos have the gray background, which that works out a little bit better for my scrapbooking, but most of them are blue. So I had to make it work. And this one here is definitely a brighter blue background. But again, I went with the green in his shirt and then the cute little icons. And that little book one with the apple on top of it, and then it's on top of a larger apple, is actually from Echo Park. I pulled that off of the sticker sheet also from Echo Park. And then here I'm adding flatback stars. I added flatback pearls on the other one since the other layouts that I created beforehand, I used brads on those ones. But since I have brads left, but not a lot of like the colorful brads or ones that match these ones, so I decided to change that part up and go with flatback pearls, which is something that I use now. Here I'm using the Simple Stories foam stickers to be the title, second grade. And then I did ND for second in Doodlebug letters. And I just like the way that that looks. I'm probably going to use up all of my Doodlebug letters doing these layouts because I need the little letters to show what grade he's in. But I think they turned out so cute. I really like finishing up a project that I started long ago. But it's okay because there's no time limit. Just do what you can and get it done. So that's my motto, anyways. So here we have threes class and second grade all finished up. And like I said, I love the way this one turned out. I love the colors of it. And since it is one of my favorite school photos of him, I'm glad it turned out so great. Please like and subscribe and come back so you can see the rest of the school photos this month. And I will see you then. Thanks for coming by. Bye.